So welcome to the Shanti Meditation-Beginners program.
Добро пожаловать на Shanti медитацию, программу для начинающих.
So let us understand that does Shanti meditation help discover inner peace and happiness?
Давайте попытаемся понять, каким образом Shanti медитация помогает нам достичь внутреннего мира и спокойствия.
As I have been telling you that the Shanti meditation is a higher mindfulness program.
Как Гуруджи уже раньше упоминал, Shanti медитация – это программа по повышению уровня осознанности.
And it is free from religion, cult, dogma, belief.
И Shanti медитация не привязана ни к какой конкретной религии, ни к какой догме, ни к какой вере.
And it is simple, easy and effective for everyone.
И также эта программа простая, понятная и эффективная для каждого.
I have given this program to people of all the ages, from age 5 and above.
Гуруджи давал эту практику всем своим занимающимся в возрасте от 5 лет и выше.
The research studies shows that mindfulness practice changes the mind to change the brain.
Научные изыскания показывают, что практики осознанности меняют наш ум таким образом, что меняется и наш мозг.
And you can say that there are two major benefits.
И можно сказать, что от этого существуют две пользы.
One is that it helps you manage the symptoms of many illnesses.
Первое – это то, что Shanti медитация помогает управлять симптомами множества болезней.
It may be anxiety, it may be stress, it may be over fatigue and overexertion and sleep disturbances.
Это могут быть такие расстройства, как бессонница, как усталость хроническая, разного рода психологические нарушения, которые Shanti медитация позволяет устранять.
But the most important thing is that it helps improve your well-being.
Но самое главное, что Shanti медитация позволяет в общем улучшить состояние человека.
And the first time we discover inner peace and happiness.
И Shanti медитация позволяет нам впервые почувствовать истинное мир и спокойствие.
Let us understand in a very simple way that does meditation awaken to peace and happiness?
Можно очень простым способом понять, как медитация помогает нам пробудиться к миру и спокойствию, к счастью.
The Eastern wisdom and its principles are different from the Western wisdom.
Принципы восточной мудрости и восточной философии очень сильно отличаются от принципов мудрости западной.
All meditation aims at discovery of oneself.
Все виды медитации конечной своей целью имеют поиск истинного «Я».
And the self is still unknown to the Western psychology.
И это истинное «Я», это все еще неизвестно, все еще является загадкой для ученых Запада.
So what we say when this mind becomes empty and merges into the higher consciousness, it is the self.
И мы утверждаем, что когда наш ум становится пустым и объединяется с высшим сознанием, то тогда он находит истинное «Я».
But I know you will say my mind is crazy and running all the time.
Вероятно, мы все подумаем, что наш ум постоянно находится в движении, бежит как сумасшедший.
And the natural question would be how to control this mind.
И естественным вопросом здесь было бы, как же контролировать этот ум.
To understand the principles from the Eastern wisdom, you will realize that you need not to control the mind.
Если вы глубже будете разбираться в принципах восточной философии, то вы поймете, что нет никакого смысла контролировать ум.
When your clothes become dirty, what you do?
Если ваша одежда становится грязной, что вы делаете?
You put it into the washing machine and put some detergent and wait.
Вы кладете ее в стиральную машину, туда добавляете стиральный порошок и ждете какое-то время.
Did you understand? You did not control the clothes. You removed the dirt.
То есть здесь важно понять то, что мы не контролируем одежду в этом процессе, но тем не менее грязь убирается.
Similarly, the dirt of anxiety of opposites, complementary opposite, comes from the external world.
Точно так же можно утверждать, что те загрязнения в уме, которые у нас присутствуют, они вызваны внешним миром.
That needs to be clean to leave the mind pure.
А чтобы очистить ум от этих загрязнений, нужно избавиться.
My friends, never try to control the mind because it will never happen and you will be having more stress.
Никогда не пытайтесь контролировать ум, потому что у вас никогда это не получится, вы только добавите себе стресса.
What is the principle?
В чем же принцип заключается?
The Eastern wisdom says that this entire world is of the nature of complementary opposites.
Восточная философия утверждает, что весь этот мир это единство и борьба противоположностей.
So that is both the Buddhist principle and the principle in yoga.
И этот принцип, он заложен в основу как буддизма, так и йоги.
What are these complementary opposites?
И в чем же проявляются эти противоположности, которые едины и борются?
Pain, pleasure, hate and love, hot and cold, rich and poor, fatigue and freshness.
Ну, такие вещи, как мы все прекрасно знаем, это любовь и ненависть, как усталость и подвижность, как богатство и бедность и так далее.
In the external world, these opposites are okay, but the mind attaches to these opposites and becomes impure.
Во внешнем мире существование этих противоположностей не вызывает проблем, но проблема возникает тогда, когда ум начинает привязываться к этим противоположностям.
So you remove the dirt and the garbage, the mind becomes pure and it moves into a meditative state.
И тогда ум загрязняется, и это загрязнение следует убирать. Как только загрязнения будут убраны, ум погрузится в медитативное состояние и станет чистым.
Let us take an example. We read a lot about sugar. We see that sugar is a poison.
Давайте возьмем такой пример. Мы все очень много читаем о сахаре, мы знаем, что сахар можно даже с ядом сравнить.
So is sugar a poison?
Но на самом деле является ли сахар ядом?
If it is, then all the cane sugar plants would become poisonous.
Если действительно он является ядом, то тогда все все растения, из которых добывается сахар, они тоже должны быть ядовитыми.
So the mind creates a wrong perception by first attaching to the sugar and then avoiding the sugar.
Но ведь на самом деле это не так. И ум здесь загоняет себя как бы в неверное понимание, потому что он сначала привязывается к сахару, потому что это приятно, а затем он создает иллюзию того, что сахар это яд.
Not everyone is like Sasha.
Не все похожи на Сашу.
Why I said so that first we enjoy getting married.
В плане того, что когда человек выходит замуж или женится, то вначале он очень ему приятно, он наслаждается тем, что вступил в брак.
Mind creates a desire, what a life without marriage.
И ум создает такую иллюзию, что жизни нет вне брака вообще.
And after a few years, the same mind says, what a life because of marriage.
А через несколько лет ум уже говорит, насколько лучше была моя жизнь вне брака. Тот же самый ум.
I know you might be thinking about yourself.
И, наверное, кто-то при этих словах подумал о своем браке, о себе.
The same thing happens to anything when the mind attaches to it.
И подобные вещи происходят со всем, к чему привязывается наш ум.
So when you are doing the meditation practices regularly, this mind changes.
И если вы выполняете медитативные практики регулярно, то это позволяет вашему уму измениться.
So that is why this mindfulness or any meditation practices should be done regularly and daily.
Именно поэтому эта практика, а также любая другая практика медитации, должны выполняться регулярно, каждый день.
Then it will not be attached to the objects and the things and the people outside.
Тогда эта практика не будет привязана к каким-то объектам, событиям или людям, которые окружают вас.
You need not to control the mind.
И вы не должны контролировать ваш ум.
In mindfulness state, the mind moves with a right perception of the things, people and relationship.
В состоянии осознанности ум уже находится в правильном понимании вещей, событий, людей.
Now you live in the same world, but no problem.
И тогда вы продолжаете жить в том же самом мире, но у вас при этом не возникает никаких проблем.
So something in you have changed.
Получается, что что-то внутри вас поменялось.
Until then, we need to do the practice.
А до того времени нам необходимо продолжать заниматься практикой.
Let us start the journey to the Shanti meditation.
Давайте начнем наше путешествие в Шанти медитацию.
Eyes are closed and sit in any posture, lie down. You may sit on the chair. What is the goal of the preparatory step? The goal is relaxed, effortless, natural, and happy moment. If you succeed in the preparatory step, the 5 steps of Shanti meditation are simple and easy. And sometime if you do not succeed in the first step, preparatory step, that keeps your mind wandering, crazy and lazy. So eyes are closed gently. First check. You do not squeeze your eyes. Then be comfortable or relaxed at the physical level. How to do it? I explain every step. I qualify whatever I give instructions to you. What should be done at your end? Only being aware and attentive. Look at the neck joint and feel the sensation and become aware. Now see here, if you have a crazy mind, it might be thinking, what will happen if I do this? The moment you feel the sensation and become aware, your mind has already changed the direction. Look at the shoulder joints. Feel the sensation and become aware. Now, am I asking to create the sensation and become aware? No. When the mind looks at the shoulder joints, it naturally becomes aware of the sensation. And awareness of that sensation tells you that you are comfortable, you are relaxed. Look at the hip joints. So when you look at the hip joints, feel the sensation and become aware. Look at the knee joints, feel the sensation and become aware. What is happening? The mind is changing the direction naturally from outside to inside. That is what is happening. Look at the knee joints and the ankle joints, feel the sensation and become aware. Why I give importance to the preparatory step and spend some more time into it? Once the preparatory step is understood and experienced deeply, the other steps are easy to do it. The entire body is comfortable and relaxed. The second point is the steadiness. That is one way of saying it. The other way of saying in different texts and traditions is being carefree. What it means by being carefree, you're looking inside your head. You see that you're listening to me. The moment you listen, the words and the sentences disappear and you move into your experience. Similarly, when any other thought comes to your mind, what should be done? Doing nothing, looking at the thought, as if your mind is wandering from one thought to the other without any purpose. So what should we do? Do nothing. Let the thought come and go. That is another way of being carefree. I use the other term that if you start for the advanced practitioners, that if you experience the steadiness in the body, that makes the mind carefree. Good. The third point is being casual. Whenever you are casual means what? Your mind says now you have to do nothing. Just nothing. The moment the mind knows that it has to do nothing, it becomes casual. It becomes natural. Doing something all the time in the waking state is the serious illness. Yes, it is a more serious disease than any other disease. So, now coming to the first step, known as dharana. In dharana, we check and understand, is the mind very near to us? When you're near to me, I can talk to you. And when you're too far, how can I talk to you? So look at the head and the neck and become aware of the entire head and the neck. Now you feel the sensation in the entire head and the neck. I think I told you that when you experience this sensation, it simply means your mind has changed the direction. Where is that direction? From outside to inside. The moment the mind changes the direction, it drops its wandering, craziness, and laziness. Right arm. So the mind looks at the right arm, the space all around the right arm, and the sensation. In mindfulness practice, I wish I will continue with other practices of meditation, but it is always better to continue one practice until we reach to some deeper state of calmness and peace. So based on you, I'll start with some other meditation practices. Move the mind on the left arm. So once you see the left arm and the space all around, so sensation is there in the left arm and the space. Rib cage in the chest, rib cage in the chest. First experience the space all around, one, and second, experience the space and the sensation. Belly, the stomach. When you experience the belly, there is a sensation and there is a space all around. You know why we are looking in this space? We are asking the mind that, see, your nature is of blankness. When we were born, the mind was blank. We didn't know any language, no words, no thoughts, no past, no future. Look at the right leg. When you see the right leg, mentally, you are aware of the space all around and you feel the sensation. Left leg. Sensation and the space all around the left leg. the entire body. Entire body, space all around, and there is a space. The mind knows it. You know, when I come to your house, I sit in your living room on the sofa, I see the space, and then only I sit there. If there is no space, I find other. It is always there. The space and the sensation. The first step is done. How easy it is, how simple it is. Now, second step. Second step is known as pratyahara. It is like you open your front door of your home, come out, and you see the neighbors, the cars, the street, the lawn, everything. Now you move inside your home. You close the door. So what happens to the neighbors, streets, cars, and other stuff? Nothing happens to them. What happens it happens to you. Your mind becomes free from all those things. Naturally, without doing anything. Look at it. It demands your understanding and also so-called effortless practice. So how we can do the same thing that we did by moving inside our home from outside, so the mind was totally out of sight from the things, objects, places, people outside. That is the second step. So, easy way you have done before. You look at the head and the neck and the space all around. Now move the mind slowly, gently from the space to the head and the neck, to the skin of the head and the neck. So what happens? The space disappears. That gives a very strong message to the mind. No more things of the external world. Look at it. Look at the right arm, space outside, and space outside, and the sensation in the right arm, and then move your mind from the space to the skin of the right arm. What is your conscious experience? You experience deepening of the sensation and the stillness. Such a simple thing. I understand that you still remember the example of moving inside the home, closing the door, and you're out of sight. The neighbors, the people, the streets, the car, same thing. Your wandering mind has a lot of contents, and you're out of it. Look at the rib cage, the chest, and the space all around. So what happens? Again, move the mind from the space to the skin of the rib cage. So your mind is filled with the sensation of the rib cage. It deepens. Why? Because the mind is coming closer and you experience the stillness. Now look at the belly, the space all around. Feel the Feel the sensation and the stillness. So now there are two things. The mind needs lot of words to explain a thing. But if you experience sensation in the stillness, the second step is done. Look at the right leg, the space all around. Move the mind from the space to the skin of the right leg. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. Look at the left leg. Feel the sensation and the stillness. I can even say sensation and the stillness. But the mind wants more information. So there are people in this group who wants more information than the practice. So if they don't get more information, they leave the practice. But the second kind of people are committed. They say, no, we have to do the practice regularly until we experience the change. So it is 50-50. And the third are the highest seeker. Whatever I say, they accept it 100% and they are into a meditative state. So there's a lot of things I need to work on. And that is why I explain meditation differently in every session. Third step now. Third step, a metaphor first. Example. You enter into a dark room. Your eyes are open. There is a total darkness. And then I say, what do you see? You see nothing. You will definitely say, oh no, I see nothing. That is the very first point of the third step. Or you can say that is the third step. So what I say, let us enter deeper inside the head. Be there. What do you see? Nothingness. Why? There is total darkness. Why there is a total darkness? The senses cannot take their objects inside the head to make you see the things. I believe you understand and experience. So when you experience that sense of infinite space or the darkness, that is the beginning of calmness and quietness. Look at the right arm outside. So then I help you for the first easy seekers of meditation. And I don't understand, those seekers always need more information. So for them I say, okay, look at the right arm. Outside sensation and stillness, and look inside the right arm. That is how I explain. And then you experience calmness and quietness. For the second group of seekers, I say look at the left arm and look at the left arm inside and experience the calmness and quietness. Now look at the instruction for the highest seeker. I know you will appreciate the way because I have to give instructions to a group. So I mix up those things. Look at the rib cage inside and become aware of the infinite space inside. The highest seeker are not at all concerned even for calmness and quietness. they want the mind should enter into a meditative state. Look inside the belly, be there, calmness and quietness. You see, I mixed up for all kinds of seekers. That is what happens when you are giving a group lesson. Look at the right leg, space outside, sensation is there in the stillness, look inside. Just be there and experience calmness and quietness. You see, I mixed up everything. I translated this instruction from the example of moving inside the home and now being out of sight. And that is how I need to give these instructions in a different way until you see that the mind is living within. Okay, look at the left leg. The space, the sensation and the stillness outside. Look inside, calmness and quietness, and beyond calmness and quietness, there is only an empty darkness, dark space. When you enter into a dark room, even if 10 people are sitting there, your eyes are open in the darkness, and I ask you, who is there? None, no one. Don't start thinking from the past. That is the key to understanding. The entire body, space, sensation, and the stillness, and looking inside the body, being there, calmness and quietness, and in that calmness and quietness, you are aware of the space inside. You see how easy it is. But what is easy in modern life seems very complex. The mind sometimes hesitates. Oh, is this a meditation practice? It is. So 3 steps said, another 4th step. So 4th step, I think you might remember, I explained it that we are aware the mind is living within now, in that state of emptiness. So because the mind still gets attracted to something, so we have to become aware and recognize that mind is living within. And for that, the step is simple breath awareness. There are many ways to be aware of the breath, but the simple way where I qualify the breath awareness in the 4th step, you look at the breath that is going in and out. First point. Second point, you feel the sensation of the breath. Where you feel? Inside the nose. How do you feel? Do you make any effort? No. The breath is already moving in and out. It strikes the skin inside the nose. There is a sensation and you simply feel it. And the 3rd point is a checkpoint. You see checkmate in chess? That is a checkpoint. And what is that? You do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So you are aware that you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. That makes the practice effortless. In that state of sensation in the stillness, calmness and the quietness, you are looking at the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation of the breath, and you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. That is the point. Even though the fourth step is capable to take you deeper into a meditative state, for the highest seekers. But for the seekers, it becomes a challenge. After some time, the mind starts wandering. It returns to its old habit. You see the point? That is why many modified steps of breath awareness are introduced. And that is why I call the fifth step as a bhavatita. Bhavatita means transcending the mind. Transcending the mind. What is transcending the mind? Going beyond the mind. That is what the Eastern psychology says. How is it possible when there are no contents in the mind? One way. The other way, that the mind is now looking at what looks at the mind, and that is our self. But we cannot approach directly through the mind that subjective self. So we use the indirect method. The breath goes in, no change, feeling the sensation, and looking at a point on the forehead. The breath comes out, looking at a point on the forehead. Looking at a point on the forehead. You see that? It is natural. I explained you at least in 6 or 7 different ways, because I did not say how many ways. Here is one way, so you might have taken the fifth step as granted. The moment the breath goes in, look at a point on the forehead. The breath comes out, look at a point on the forehead. That is the first point. And the second point is the moment the breath goes in, you look at a point on the forehead and merge yourself into the infinite space inside the head. Breath comes out. Feel as if the breath is coming from that inner space and merges into the outer space. merges. So now I'm adding the highest point. Where is the highest point? Like a drop of a water drops into an ocean. What happens? Can you find that drop in the ocean? I know you will say no. So what should be your awareness? The moment the breath goes in, you look at a point on the forehead and you merge yourself into the inner space. And you have an experience as if you are nobody. When you are nobody, the emptiness dawns. Not by thinking. It is your experience. It is your awareness. Continue. Now, do nothing. So when I say do nothing, it doesn't mean that you start thinking of your honey, you start thinking of your work, because I'm not doing anything. No. It means you are fully aware the mind is not there. Come on. That is the key. Oh, how Sasha is saying that, we have no people. So we have 4 on the YouTube and sometime 4 or 5, maybe because of connection failure. And 7 here. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So what should we do now? Naturally, we bring our awareness on the right palm, on the left palm. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Don't run away. Share your experiences, my friends. Even on the YouTube, you can share. There is on the right side, there is a chat window. And you can share by chat, by audio, by video message. that gives you a chance to progress. But if you say, okay, I have done it, you don't want to know how the progress can be made, then you don't share. Bring the hands down, and now let us share our experiences. So those who return from the meditation, you can write on the chat window, you can share your audio, you can share your videos also. Kate, Denise, Eliona. There are other Russian names, I have to find out who is this. So let us share, and Arman is there. So let us share your experiences. I am open. I have opened my YouTube link also, and I see there is a chat window. I have written how are you doing on the YouTube, so you can share it. Dennis says, for a moment I felt like disappeared. Dennis, you are already there. When you are aware, the mind started the panic. How come you returned again to the same old habitual state? And would return back. That is the key. You experience as if you are not there. How? Understand this. How? Do you experience in deep sleep your body? No. Bed? No. Relations? No. Your computer? No. Profession? No. You disappear. But now in meditation you are aware that you are not your body, mind, intellect, and you are there. You got a glimpse of it. Kate Denko writes, thank you, Guruji. I feel rested and relaxed. Today I dive deep inside. Wonderful, Kate. That is what we need. Eliona, my mind today was somewhere between sleep and awareness. Eliona writes, the feeling inside, sometimes I felt something like a weightlessness. That is how the mind should explain. Weightlessness, yes, you were there, Eliona. What happens in any meditation you do, my friends, in any meditation that we do, because our mind is heavily conditioned by the body and its pain and pleasure, its discomfort, and lot of things. So the mind lives at the unconscious physical level. Now in meditation you move the mind inside. So what happens? The same habitual mind attracts the unconsciousness and you fall into sleep. Or you transition into sleep and return again, you sleep, return again. It is okay in the beginning. You're moving ahead, you're progressing. That's wonderful. Eliona and Harman and other two people. There are 6 viewers on YouTube. That's wonderful. Nobody is writing on YouTube. Nobody is sharing their experiences. Weightlessness. Alyona, you are already weightlessness. You are not the body. That's a wonderful experience. Thank you, Guruji. Today there were more people than last time. If the next time too many people will say that they were all present, Shanti Meditation will ask you to hold Shanti Meditation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Guruji. Aliana, yes, that should be the smile. A bigger smile on your face. Then, who else is sharing? Who is shy of sharing their peace and happiness? You can also share your craziness. It's a good group. Now we celebrate different events, we all share our happiness, but we hide our suffering. Why? So I think no one likes to share. Others are not ready to share their experiences. It is okay. Choice is yours. Yes. Anyone? So let me know next time. Dennis will answer me and we will bring an end. Be happy and keep smiling all the time. We will meet next week. Thank you, Dennis, for all your support. Thank you, everyone.